The load of a leader. The pain behind greatness. You have to learn it. You should know it if truly you want to be great in life. The pain behind the greatness. That's what we'll talk about today. And I think I'm going to begin with someone you know very well. You know him very well. But do you truly know him? Do you truly know some things about him? Or you only know the things they told you about him? And that's why perhaps, like many of us, you also celebrate him. But I don't know if you know some of this part. He was in prison. You heard about that part. You heard about the number of years in prison. But did they tell you that his mother died while he was in prison? Did they tell you that he was denied access to attend a burial while he was in prison? Did they tell you that his firstborn died in a car crash while he was in prison? And he was not even allowed to mourn properly. Did they tell you that his wife was beaten and arrested and humiliated while he was in prison? Did you even know that his marriage was affected because he was in prison? Guys, it's the same person you know. Nelson Mandela. So you heard that he's in prison, but he came out from prison and 27 years in prison. But the load he carried, losing his family, losing his marriage, losing the moments to even grieve, because he carried the pain of a country and he was quietly bleeding from his own personal loss. That's the load of a leader. He stepped out of prison, it didn't become bitter, it became better. That simple behavior as well as the load of a leader. So some of you that are going into leadership in life, before you carry people, you must carry pain. So be attentive, because this is going to go very, very deep. And you must know that the heavier your vision, the heavier the burden you will carry. So do not be weary and be wondering, why am I carrying on this issue? What am I going through? No. There are many loads, early load leadership. And I will share some with you. At least the ones I'm aware of. I think there are about 10 or 11 that I'm aware of. And I was just thinking about these loads, looking at my personal life and leaders that I've followed. It's about 10 to 11 that I personally have encountered. So it's easy for me to relate to you. One of the most common loads as a leader is the load from the team. As a leader, your team expects the vision. They expect clarity. They expect you to always have the solution, even when you are barely surviving. They expect you to know the right answer, even when you are confused. That is one of the first things from you as a leader. You become the provider of motivation, the builder of the culture, and you are the carrier of the responsibility in the team. So some of you are team leaders, you are managers, you are directors, you are CEOs, you are founders. You must understand that you don't get the luxury to break down at all, because there's a load from the team that is waiting upon you. So when you break down, you cause a breakdown on the system. That alone is a load, a big load. Guys, my WhatsApp number is a bloodline, not a telephone line. I check my WhatsApp every 5 minutes, except I'm in a meeting. Even when I woke up in the middle of the night to go to the bathroom, the first thing I check is my phone. Now, I'm not checking it for TikTok or Instagram. I am not checking it for a message to my friend or not. I am checking for, are there any emergencies? If only you understand what leaders do. I am checking, I hope nobody's in trouble. I am checking, I hope nobody needs an authorization or an approval. There are many things that I check. So if you go and break down, or I just switch off my phone for a day, I have shut down the operations of many. So I see some of you that will just say, I left my phone down, I don't want to talk to anybody. Sometimes I switch off my phone, you are not the leader, or you are leading nobody, or you are a careless leader. Of course, there are times when you go on retreats, my team knows I'm not available, I'm on holiday. Yes, that's allowed. But in the line of duty, as a leader, you carry the load of your team. And they expect direction, motivation, provision, and vision from you. They will ask you, what's the next step, even when you don't have one? They will ask you, are we safe, even when you're afraid? They would come to you for many things, and you can't afford to be silent, because your silence will make them anxious. And your smile will reassure them, and you must keep smiling even when your own world is falling apart. It's a big load, guys. If you have not started carrying it, wait for it, it will come. The only beauty about yours, and that's why I said you are blessed, is that somebody prepared you for this. Some of us, nobody prepared us. We were just like, how come? Go through all these things and still be forming like I'm strong even when I'm weak? I think it was Simon Sinek who said that leadership is not about being in charge. He said it's about taking care of those you're in charge of. That's what it's about. About holding things together, even when you can see that you're not strong, both emotionally, financially, and physically. After the Global Entrepreneurship Festival last year, celebration everywhere, success stories, testimonials, oh, amazing, people sending messages, calls, everything. But right in that December, my entire world was falling apart. Who exactly was falling apart? Not my family, not me, but my team. I had to be strong for the team. I had to make sure that I am not feeding my team fear, even when I did not understand. In my security team alone, some of you know this story. One of them died from a car accident. Another one had a car accident. Another one had a stroke. My personal chef was extremely sick. These were people close to me, my security aides. And everything happened in the span of like 3-4 days. But in the midst of it all, only me and my team will hear this for the first time right here. While I couldn't understand it, I was holding the team together while providing motivation, financial support, moral support, calling their families, doing things. As I'm speaking about it, I'm even getting emotional right now because I didn't even have the time to even mourn myself, the team member I lost. Because even instead of me to mourn, I found myself motivated. Oh, the leader's load is heavy, guys. It sounds like a storyline right now, but when you feel it, it feels like your entire world is falling apart. Just this December, and my ability to hold the team together was what made us continue our vision in January. What happened that December could have shut down any company. If you were weak emotionally, everybody's just going to flow down to your entire team, and everybody's just going to be as miserable as you are, and everything is just going to go. But I had to carry their pain, and I had to be strong for the team. That's the load of a leader. Guys, when you leave the team, another load that you will carry is the load from the family. Yeah. Oh, the family's load even gets heavier because the family then expects the same version of you that the world sees. You are the upright leader. You speak with so much flair and passion. You care, you comfort, you console. And then you come to the family. They expect that they get that same kind of service. And meanwhile, as family, you want to come and hide your head and say, hey, I'm tired now. I'm exhausted, But I told me, you're still a leader because your kids do not see the boardroom wins. They see the fact that you missed their birthdays. That's another query. How do you stand? Your spouse will not see the awards and the recognition. They will tell you about your absence on the special days. Because the hardest part is you can't explain the cost of greatness to who wants your presence. I don't know if you understand what I'm trying to say. Somebody needs your presence. You are now telling them again that I was absent because that's what's costing me my greatness. Are you okay? So you are becoming great and then you are becoming absent in the family meetings. You are not there for your uncles. You are not there for your aunties. You are not there and they don't, especially if you now have a family that don't understand, you're in trouble. And that's why I thank God for my family. I think they knew this from the very young age of mine. They understood my calling. And that's why sometimes some of you have to make your calling clear to your family. Because by the time you get there, it's not now. Not now. By the time you get there, you will know that there is a load and there's some stress from family. The stress is even more than the one outside because they also have their expectations and their demand. The moment you're not fulfilling that demand, imagine when that family now brings pressure and they see you like an outcast. They begin to, have a beef against you. If your family now is against you, tell me how heavy this load is. If you need family, there's the load from friends, guys. The load from friends. You will lose some friends, not because they are evil or envious, but because leadership will isolate you from familiarity. People will begin to relate with your position than your person. Honestly. And I need to tell you this. See, leadership is lonely. I'm sure we all know that. And it's not because nobody loves you, but because very few people can carry what you carry. So that's why it's lonely. It's not that they hate you. That's why some of your friends will fade away. Some of your networks, your old networks will fade away because elevation can sometimes feel like a threat. So they begin to just step back up and they begin to miss the old version of you. Honestly, they want the you before the responsibility that rewired your priorities. That is the version that they want. So even when you now have conversations with them, it no longer click because you're no longer in the same frequency. And that's why there's this famous quote that says growth is the silent killer of shallow friendships. Growth. So some of you that are losing those friendships now, don't you worry. You are leading. This is the load of a leader. Nothing is wrong. So friends comes with their load. Another familiar load is the load from haters. Those ones. Yeah, it comes in distractions. Haters. While you are busy planning your life, there comes the haters. I don't know where they manufacture themselves from. People who have never done anything in their life or can never attempt to what you are doing, they'll begin to tell you how they can do better than you. They begin to question the efforts. They begin to put load, unnecessary pressure. You know, where you're supposed to be concentrating on what you are building. Somebody will say something on you on social media, you have to go back there and be replying, you have to go back there and be communicating, you have to go back there. While you are focused, you're supposed to be spending that time on the load you're already carrying from family, from friends, from team member. Haters will carry their own load again and come. And those haters load is seasonal. They will leave you again, leading. They will come again. It will come. If they've not started eating you, you have not started growing. It will come. You smile in public, but sometimes you frown in private because of some of the disgusting things you find and say, is this all the same people I'm trying to make the world a better place for? Guys, if criticism could kill, many leaders would be buried under the weight of opinions. Long buried. Opinions will have killed many people if truly criticisms could kill. So ignore them, but carry that load as well. Well, the haters are there, but guess what? There's also load from the lovers. The load of a leader. It's something else. Why you are worrying again that there's haters and everything, even those that love you, because love becomes complicated for a leader, honestly. How do you love from a distance? How do you love from so much work, duty, and distraction? How do you love? How are you expected to nurture a heart while you are managing a nation? How? How are you supposed to pamper a soul when you are preparing the foundation of an entire continent? Do you know how hard it is? So it's not like the romance we go in with, but you know how you fight and manage and try to make sure that you are still romantic and still being honest? Because love becomes a battlefield for leaders. You have to fight it. You want to be present, but your mind is working 24/7. You don't want to miss the special days. You want intimacy, but your energy is depleted. How do you do it? How? So, the load of a leader. Another interesting load that I found is the load from your own values. Your own values. Because as a leader, you have become a man of principles, and those principles have become your prison. You are now inside it. As a leader, you cannot do this anymore, you can't do that anymore. And then they bring those things to you and you must make that decision. Problem. You have to sacrifice between your convenience and your conviction. How will you do it? These are my priorities, this is my value. As a leader, they've put you in that position, in that ministry, in that agency. These are your values, you can't shift, you want to impact life. And then some people come with their nonsense and say, this is how we do it in Africa, we must sign this corruption bill. But you have their values. Those ones come with their load, heavy load. And guess what? You don't do or compromise your value. They come and form something against you and paint you black, and the whole world see you as black. And can you imagine the pain? Well, like I was only trying to be an upright person, and then these people painted me like a bad, evil person. You are being upright as an employer, and then an employee that was fired just because he or she could not perform will go out there and be saying negative things about you, but we never talk about the fact that he or she never performed. People then begin to paint you in some very, very funny ways. And then you must go through all those pains and still remain. Some people just leave their values. That's why some people get into government or high position, then they have no values anymore because they could not fight it anymore. But some people who still add onto it, and I think it was Abraham Lincoln who said, discipline is choosing between what you want now and what you want the most. So you now fight it and still remain core to that particular value. Honestly, leadership doesn't just test your strength, it tests your soul. You could cut corners, but you don't. You could manipulate, but you don't. Because leadership makes you live by principle, even when it costs you everything. You see some leaders that say, no, I cannot give this contract to my family member. You are the governor, the mayor, the regional minister. I'm your brother. You say you're not going to give me that contract to fix the road? Am I making sense, somebody? When those loads come upon you, you will remember me today. And they go to your family members, go to your uncles. Can you believe? I wanted that contract. He said, principle that by merit I don't deserve it. And you know that the higher your values, the heavier the load. So these things that looks like parables and proverbs, that sounds like poetic speeches, listen deeply, because when the reality of life sets in, you will remember these things. And your ability to listen and learn will help you learn how to carry this load. Now, there's a load again that is from your personal growth. Interesting, right? Yeah. Oh my God, that load disturbs me even. That load. When you're managing the team, managing the family, managing the friends, then you have to manage yourself to grow. Because getting older is automatic. Getting better isn't. So you can be growing older in life and becoming more foolish and more stupid and more outdated. So you become that kind of leader that you are outdated. My team members, they know me now. They know me. You are doing something that I cannot do. Maybe I just left you. Or maybe I don't want to do it. As they are growing, I'm growing. Am I team? Have you met some of them? They are so smart. As they are growing, I'm growing. They are growing, I'm growing. You want to grow more than me. And then relegate me to the side as one useless president. So, because I'm growing so fast too, they have no choice to grow as fast as they can. You got to grow. Because the moment you stop evolving is the moment you stop expanding. You can't stop growing. While others are sleeping, you are studying. While others are partying, you are planning. While others are resting, you are restructuring. It's an heavy load. You also carry the weight of what you must become in order to carry the weight of those you are to lead. True leaders in this room, you are blessed. And aspiring leaders, you are so blessed. A leader is a reader, a learner, a grower. Honestly, because stagnation is absolute betrayal for you. You're done. How do you then find time in growing in all these things? Because you must be a consistent student every time in learning. Within all this load you're carrying, how do you not get that good? That's why that is a load on itself. Guess what? Why you are now carrying that load of education, learning, farming, friends, managing haters, all those sorts said, right? Then there comes the load of public expectations. Oh my God. Those ones are not haters, they're not haters. They are the public and they have expectations. Because as they gave you that appointment, there's expectations from the king, from the state governor, from the nation, from the indigenous of that community. Already. The public will not ask you if you're okay. They will only ask you how far. You've been there for 6 months. You've been doing this for 10 years. How far? They don't understand your procedure, your principle, your platform, your roadmap. Even when they applaud you, be careful. It can be deceiving. Don't forget. So be very, very careful. They will cheer you when you're rising, but when you fall, you get in that position, there's expectation so strong, even when they do not know the resources available for you for execution. The moment they say, this is the pastor now, or this is the imam, or this is, hey, you must not sin again. They're watching this pastor. Because they cannot be who you are, they are looking for fault of what you have become. So be careful. Public expectation. This Dr. Summy's advice is, why is he walking like that? Why is he talking like that? That load is heavy. Because somebody will do something, the best thing to do, honestly, even me as a leader, let me tell you now, is to slap that person. No, I gotta tell you the truth. Like, somebody has just, you can see that this person is so stupid. But as the leader, you just, Lord, that load. Just remember that load of public expectation. A video lately about an MEP in South Africa. He was holding one foreign reporter, one white reporter on the set, like, are you crazy? They push that guy to the wall. He's so angry. The moment they came up with a phone like this, if you see the way the man ran, the MP, because he knows that the moment they post that thing, it's finished. You are no longer human. You are a perfected robot when you become a leader. That is the expectation of people. And that's why Winston Churchill said that the price of greatness is responsibility. That responsibility of you must just be you. You must. You manage that one, right? You carry that load. How many loads have already carried? I feel your back is paining you already, right? There's still more loads. The load of consistency is there. Have you forgotten? That load is there. You will carry the weight. You have to keep showing up. Show up even when you are tired. Show up even when you are sick. Show up even when you are miserable. Show up even when you are stressed. Show up even when you are mourning. I remember many pastors that I even know. I think about 4 or 5 now. The wife died. There was even one, the wife died on the same day. He still had to climb the pulpit to preach. There was one that he lost his child. a day before, he still had to climb the pulpit to preach. There was an inventor that lost his wife. He still had to show up because he has to sign that approval. He knows if he doesn't do it, it can affect the entire company worldwide. Leadership is not beans, guys. You gotta keep showing up. That load itself is something, because leaders are not remembered for their feelings. You must always remember that, oh, I have some people that say I'm feeling for my follow-up. No, they are remembered for their faithfulness. That is your strength. If you want your team to respect you, in the midst of it all, there was traffic, there was no, you still showed up. It's a load of leadership. But somebody will come, I couldn't make the meeting because there was traffic, and I couldn't make the meeting because there was no power. I couldn't make it because I couldn't get my flights. All those whining are for followers. That is the moment you rip yourself off of the leadership mantle, and then you become a follower. Be careful. There's the load of time. How do you manage all these things and then manage time? Family wants your time, friends want your time, vision wants your time, provision wants your time. Because you are leading. You wake up to phone calls, you sleep with phone calls. You go to bed every day with unfinished plans. You are somewhere between meetings and purpose and people management. Leadership will steal away your time to rest, your time from your loved one, your time for even your health, even from your own personal dreams, your hobbies. Some of you that you still have time to play soccer and play table tennis and play PlayStation. I love PlayStation too. I cannot remember. I have a PS here in my house. I'm looking at it. My boy too is looking at it. I don't know what's wrong with my boy. Why he's not playing the PlayStation? He's still, let me even tell him now. Better be playing the PlayStation. This is your time to play PlayStation, my boy. Because once you get to the time of leading, no more PlayStation again. As you are playing the PlayStation, you are seeing instead of you to be seeing your team of the game, you see your main team on that game. You will drop the pad and rush to the unfinished projects. Honestly. You have to start rescheduling your life to fit everyone else. Is that not a load? You are forced to prioritize impact over your peace of mind. Is that not a load? Purpose over your privacy. Is that not a load? It's heavy. And that guilt of being available to everyone, that guilt alone, it becomes a private grief for you. Time becomes a load. Can you believe it? Time that some of you have now, it will still become a load on your head. How will you respond to call? If I check my phone now, if you not any messages, I've not read. And that's why some people will complain that I didn't call. Family will be, I can't manage everything. You will just be trying, and that place again, you'll be losing people, losing friends, losing loved ones. And the last load I will tell you right now is the load of uncertainty. Do you know how many times we've made decisions without being sure? And we pretend to you like we are sure. Leadership, it won't kill us. You will carry it with a leadership charisma. This is one part that nobody will want to tell you about, but I will tell you. You don't even know if it will work out, if you don't know if it will fail. Something that can affect everyone. Some presidents that are making this load of uncertainty, decisions that can wipe out everyone. Do you think sending that jet that President Trump has authorized, do you think he slept well that night? The kind of bomb that might end up destroying the entire Iran, what will happen? What would the world say? Do you think that Obama slept well the day he sent the SEAL to go into Pakistan and bring Bin Laden's body inside Pakistan? Do you think he slept? Even when you are making those decisions and signing those approvals, the uncertainty of, hey, will this thing work, Lord? Hope I've not wiped out the entire nation. This policy I'm about to sign. And then guess what? Let me show you something about leadership. You will now sign that policy, uncertainty. You know how Trump used to do it. You now come here and say, ladies and gentlemen, we have just signed the policy as a leader that from now on in our nation, we will make sure that every this, you drop it, nice speech, and then you go, you close the door, you're like, yeah, Lord, I beg you, please, let this work. Oh my God, I hope you are following me. The load of leadership. You are taking steps into the unknown, hoping that your faith will be stronger than your fear. Do you know the meaning of that? Is it because you have not done it before? I've done these things many times. God is the most scariest thing. You lead in the dark, you act on faith. You pretend as if you are sure, but you are praying that your guesses will not affect the life of human beings. Guesses. And you must make those steps. You must, because there is a point in life where everybody does not know what to do. Then it comes to the leader. Are you not also human? Then you'll be like, let's take the shot. It was a guesswork. Then when you read the respect, Mr. President, yeah, you will now put inside your doom again and close down and go on your knees and say, hey, God, I thank you. If you know what President Trump is doing in his closet, you will be like, these people, they're also humans. Guys, these loads are heavy. They are heavy, and you must carry them. You must carry them because you are chosen. You must carry them because the future is tied to your obedience. Honestly, you must carry them because if you drop it, you have dropped the life of someone, people, or even a generation. And God does not anoint the convenience, He anoints the commitment. So you have to be committed to it. Now, one of the ways you can carry this load, you have to prioritize your source. What exactly is your source? Who is your source? Because guys, you are not the source. For you to be a leader, you're not the source, you are the vessel. And that is why you always hear me say, I am Summy Francis, and I'm what? Completed. I am nothing without God. I always defer to my source. I connect it back to my source. Find your own line. If your source is your village king, or your village priest, or your own idol, or whatever you are praying to, find your source and connect to your source and prioritize it, because empty vessels leak and full vessels will always overflow. If you feed yourself with the strength from the source, that's number one. I rush to it. Another thing that you can do is build a trust circle. In leadership, you must have your trust circle. Your trusted circle that's come rain, come sunshine. For me, my team, my wife, these are my trusted circle. So your trusted circles, even when you make those decisions that you're not certain about, you have to have that team that will come into your inner circles, and together you hold hands and pray. Together they will motivate you. Very important. Even Moses at some point needed somebody to hold his hands up. So you need that strong circle that you trust you, because even the strongest lions, they still rest in packs. Very, very important. Now, quickly, embrace your vulnerability without losing authority. You can be vulnerable, you are human. You can't bottle everything, because yes, you will feel those pain, you will break down. You can't bottle those wounds until they become explanations, but you must share it with the right people. Be real, be wise, embrace your vulnerability without losing authority. So don't go and cry in front of the person you are supposed to motivate. Some leaders, they go and whine and complain in front of their followers, so they scatter the whole structure. The person you can cry to should be either a fellow leader or your mentor. You cannot go down the ladder of leadership. You have to go up. Even when you report, mentor, if not mentor, God. Don't never come down, else you lose your authority. Delegate so that you don't drown. Because as a visionary, it's different from running a company. You have to interpret the vision, narrate the vision, see if this is in line with vision. So it was very hard. But at some point, I knew that carrying the load does not mean carrying everything. So you have to empower others and trust them and allow them, even when they make mistakes. And even when they are scared, just leave them in that fear, because you are grooming them. Leave them in it. I have some directors that I make them do things, or they are in situations where they come to me for advice, and I just leave them, because you have to groom them. I put some things, I've seen members, I charge them, I guide them, and I leave them, and I watch them make those mistakes. Because you have to allow them make those mistakes so that you would be able to delegate important things to them. It is in the process of allowing them in those fears, in making big decisions, life decisions, threatening decisions, that they learn through leadership and they are able to handle the mantle. Then you can delegate. Don't start with delegation. Start with training and empowering them first. If you delegate to a fool, you are finished. Not do it yourself, then give it to a fool. Very careful. Feed yourself first. That's another major thing you must know. You have to carry this load. A malnourished leader is, how can I put it? Let me say, a malnourished leader will create a starving team. If you are hungry, you cannot feed your team. If you are hungry with knowledge, you don't know things, you are not wise, you are not loaded, you can never feed your team. So you need to read, you need to reflect, You need to retreat, empower yourself so that you can feed your team. Leadership is mental warfare, so you must arm your mind daily. That's how you can be able to carry this load. Major thing, you must accept that pain. You must accept that pain is part of the purpose. You cannot separate leadership from suffering. You cannot separate it from pain. And listen, pain is not punishment in leadership. It's preparation. So you must get it right that no, because I'm going through this stage now, I'm being punished. You're not being punished. You're being prepared. Even when big decisions are put in your laps, you are being prepared. Being prepared. How can you carry this load again? Celebrate your small wins. This journey is long, the load is heavy. So take joy in the progress. Clap for yourself on how far you have become. Some of you, years ago, you were not like this. You know what? All of you right now, drop your pen and clap for yourself. See, don't wait for the world to clap for you. Clap for yourself. Yeah. You have done well. Forget about what these haters are saying. Forget about what the jealous family member is saying. What the envious friend is saying. So now about what anybody, you that I'm saying in this room, you've done well for yourself. So celebrate those small wins, because even in wars, soldiers take rest, even in battles. Honestly, take a break sometimes and feed yourself, feed your mind, and of course, celebrate yourself. Guys, every load has a reward. Every pain has a purpose. Though every crown will come with a cross, but I can assure you, it's not that cross that you'll be crucified on. It is a cross that you will carry and transfer to many lives that you will liberate in life. Honestly, some of you who have dropped the load, pick it up from today. Carry that load with pride because you were chosen. Walk boldly with your burden, because that burden is your badge of honor. From now on, take pride in the leadership that you have. Listen, God did not give you the load to break you. Honestly, He did. He gave you that load to build you. And I always say something. He gave you that load to lift you so as to build nations, the continents across the world, and to make this world a better place. It is a privilege to be chosen, and I'm going to end by giving you one of my most favorite quotes. When that load is heavy, when it makes you feel weak and you are getting tired, remember, your stamina is the reason why God chose you in the first place. I love you from the bottom of my heart, and that load of yours will take you to greatness. My name is Summy Francis, and I am nothing without God. Thank you very much.